So, in today's client interview, I'm speaking with our Consulting Blueprint student, Connor Ricky. And Connor has a really cool transformation of, before he was in our program, he didn't really know how to sell, over the phone high ticket. He had his own script that he came up with and it wasn't really working. He had a small audience online of videographers and photographers that he was trying to sell his coaching to. And he had a $297 course that he tried to sell for $1,000, couldn't really figure it out. He was stumbling over himself, doing like maybe $2,000 or $3,000 a month. And in the first single week of being a part of the Consulting Blueprint program, he's done over $10,000 in sales because of the different sales strategies that we showed him, the different prospecting and marketing strategies, as well as kind of redoing his offer and rethinking the way that he positions it in his marketplace, sells and delivers it. And in his own words, he has really 3x'd his own vision for his company. He really was trying to join our program to do like $10,000 a month. That was his goal. He does $10,000 his first week, and now he realizes, okay, I really can build a $30,000, $40,000 a month business here, and you're gonna get a little bit of live coaching here with Connor as well. I really am pushing him to do a big month in February, and maybe we could do an update interview at that point. But either way, enjoy this interview with Connor. He's got a really cool story, and whether, again, like I say all the time in the program or on the channel, whether you invest in our program or not, I want you to get a lot of value from our YouTube content. And so this interview, really spend some time watching the whole thing and take some notes, because people like Connor are quite common. I've found people who have expertise and really can help people, but they just don't know how to go about packaging, selling it, marketing themselves online, and getting those right clients and getting them to commit to your program to really get results, so that you have marketing material to share of people who are winning inside of your program. So welcome once again to the channel, Connor, and this is gonna be a highly valuable video for you to watch. So watch the entire thing, pen and pad, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Welcome to the channel, Connor. All right, Connor, welcome to the channel, my friend.
Thank you for having me. I'm stoked, man. Little starstruck today.
Dude, the honor is like all mine, dude. Like I'm really impressed with how quickly you've moved and just with the amount of clarity you've moved. And I find that the way that we market ourselves, we end up attracting really high quality people that really genuinely are serious about growing this business and are ready for some life change and some more money in their pocket, and to run something that they're excited about. But if you don't mind sharing, like, I'm sure I stated it in the intro and people kind of already know, but I think they'd want to hear it from your mouth. Like, what have your results been? How has the experience in the program been? How long you've been in it and what's happened since? And then we'll get more into detail about how we've achieved that.
Cool. Yeah, man. So first 7 days of being in the program, I hit 10K in sales. And before that, my total like all-time revenue was like 3K in like 3 or 4 months. And in terms of, what got me that result, like, to be honest, I haven't even like scratched the surface of the whole program. But the things that I did jump into were like the sales modules. I just literally, my sales script I was using, I just came up with, and it was terrible. And so I just implemented your guys' sales script and just literally like first call that I used it, booked them. And then within like a day of jumping in, I had a one-on-one with one of you guys, and basically raised my price point for my program from 1K to 3K. And first call on using the script, boosting the price, close that at 3K. So needless to say, that was a bit of a confidence booster. And then to book those calls, I've put a ton of work into social media, into specifically Instagram and YouTube. And what you guys were able to do within just like literally 48 hours of jumping in, were like, I think Dylan was just like, dude, you have no idea the gold mine that you're sitting on. And I just didn't really know how to like monetize, the audience that I had spent years and years like building up in hopes to one day being able to, do something with it. Not to just like say, only doing it for the money kind of thing, but like, I want to help these people. And I just didn't know how to position it. Like, I tried to sell, I tried to like pitch offers in the past and just like totally did it the wrong way. And so like literally by just skimming the surface of your guys' content, like just changed a couple things up, like literally a couple small tweaks here and there, and booked like 8 or 10 sales calls that first week, and then made 10K, which was, a little bit more than 3 more sales at 3 grand. So yeah, man, like I'm stoked. Like it's just crazy. It's like, it's mind blowing. I've already smashed my goals for like what I set for myself. So
Amazing.
yeah, dude,
Yeah, just the
appreciate you
beginning.
guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, appreciate you. So I actually, it's funny. I just wrapped up an interview with a client, very similar story to yourself, Brett Lark, in our program. And I don't know if you have met him or hung out with him at all inside of our community. Same thing, dude. And I like to say with guys like yourself that have just now struck gold and you're just now starting to think the right way and implement that strategy, and you realize the gold you're sitting on. Like, dude, this is just the beginning. Like it honestly, like the path to 30, 40, $50,000 a month is actually quite straightforward for guys like yourself. And it's a numbers game at this point. Now that we've got proof of concept, I would say the other thing I want to help achieve for you instead of your length of the program. And we had a discussion right before we turned on the call of really your product and getting extremely clear on the outcome you're generating for your clients and having a more of a linear coaching process that gets them there with a bit more streamlined like efficiency to really improve your client experience and get those results. Because dude, honestly, Connor, once you get your first 2 or 3 case studies and you've got clients that have passed that 6-figure year mark with their videography or photography business, maybe you can clarify exactly what your niche is just for our viewers here in a moment. Then it's just going to be a feedback loop for you of making sales, getting people into a product that has extreme value, interviewing those clients on your platform, sharing their stories to make more sales. And it's just going to, before our call here, I told you, like, I'm planning my wedding, like I'm engaged, planning my wedding, going through personal stuff, and the business just runs itself. Like full train. I hop on with a client interview, I share their story, I add value, I lead the community and my team with clarity of vision of where we're going, and I maintain my emotional state, and that's about it. You know what I mean? It just grows. And so I don't know, man, how does it feel to kind of be on track for realizing that that's something that you could actually do now? Like, because I remember when I first kind of made an investment similar to you, I worked with somebody and they gave me some input, and I was like, wow, I could actually build this business. It was actually like a really special season for me. I don't know if you're feeling the same way.
I'm just like trying to grasp it still. Like I said, I like set goals for myself. It's, beginning of January, or I guess almost the end of January now. But like when I was doing my New Year's planning and stuff, like I had goals set for this. And if I were to even keep up at this pace that I'm doing now, which like you said, is just the beginning, like I'm going to be like 3xing what that goal is. And I feel like I don't even know what I'm doing yet. So to like summarize that feeling, it's like, it's freeing. It's exciting because I feel like I can actually, I feel like all this work that I've been putting into my personal brand for so long has been a little bit of like an endless loop where I like don't see the end in sight kind of thing, or like don't see, like, hey, when am I going to start seeing some like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? And now it's like I see the path and I'm more motivated than ever to double down on it, and it's exciting. So yeah, it's cool, man. Just like to go back a little bit, like you said about getting some students with that, 100K, hitting that 100K goal. Like I haven't hit that yet with my students, but within weeks of people joining, they've done 10, 20K. So I'm sure that'll be soon enough. And like you said, it'll just be like like a snowball rolling down a hill, like the snowball effect. And to tell people like what I do and what my whole offer is, I essentially help the struggling freelancer, struggling creative, mainly videographers, photographers, make a 6-figure full-time living doing what they're great at and what they love. And that's like pretty much all I do. I used to be really scattered in like who I wanted to help. I used to like really teach filmmaking and like the technical side and like gear reviews and all that stuff, which I still love, by the way. But what I realized is like my zone of excellence is like tapping into what I've been able to do in my own production company, because I realized that so many creatives struggle so much with that. A lot of people can create awesome work. Even some of my students, they have way better work than I do, but they're only making like 10 or 15K a year. And their work is better than mine. So I realized like where I can have the most impact is helping those kinds of people. So yeah, man, I'm fired up.
I love it, dude. I love it. So how many clients do you have in your program at this point then? Because I think you said you brought in 10K your first week. So, and that's 3K program. So you just about 4?
So I have like 12 or 15 or something like in there now, because previously I started selling it for $297, got a couple
Mhm.
people in, bumped it up to 397, got a couple people in, 497. And then just a week before enrolling with you guys, I bumped it up to 1,000, closed one at 1,000, and then bumped it up to three, and then made three, a fourth pending at 3,000. So
So how
um,
did we help you bump it up to three? What specifically did you take away from working with our coaches and instead of a program? Like, was it just purely a sales thing? Was it a selling yourself first and understanding the value of your offer? Was it like changing pieces of your product? Like, I think this can be a question a lot of the viewers have is like, how did you go from 297 to 3K? What exactly did you do, and what did you take away from us in order to do that?
totally. It's been a journey, first and foremost. In the beginning, it was definitely confidence, just limiting belief. I think when I was at 297, like before even joining with you guys, um, literally just the fact that I'd never coached anyone before and just was like, I don't want to charge too much for this. Once I got a couple people in at that price, that gave me like a huge confidence boost to level up again and charge a little bit more, a little bit more. And then specifically when I jumped in with you guys to make that jump from 1,000 to three, literally just laying out like, so you're trying to help people make six figures in the next 12 months. They're making 10,000 now. So you're helping people make 90K plus in 12 months, and you're selling that for $1,000. And just laying that out like super linear to me to where I could just like see it. I was like, dude, yeah, that's just way too cheap. So I just had that mindset shift. And I'm actually probably going to be bumping it up to 5 here pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, you're helping
And
people fundamentally transform their life. I mean, it's, I think one of the things that we're really good at as a team, and I think this is something that a lot of our clients get from us, is we really help people see the value that they're bringing. And we almost sell them on their own offer in a way that they might not have ever perceived it. And the reason we're so good at it is it was something that I had to do. You know what I mean? Like I had to do it for my own company, because imagine building a team with as many people as we have on the sales team, coaching team, and they don't see the long-term value of the offer. They don't get it. They're not really bought in, right? They're like, oh, we're just teaching sales. Like, oh, we're just teaching marketing. Oh, we're just teaching what? It's like, no, like Connor Ricky, pre this investment, I mean, I don't know what you think you would be capable of without charging 3 or 5 and having the sales strategies that we have, but like your own words, you've 3x'd what you thought you'd be able to do, which is pretty freaking cool. So I don't know, man, like kind of project out 6-12 months from now, what do you think this business is going to turn into? And kind of what are your goals moving forward? Because you've had a good start. And I think a lot of people might say, oh, well, like, it's a good week. Is it going to last? And I think people are going to be like maybe skeptical in that way of like, maybe it was a good launch, but is he going to maintain this pace? And like, if he is, how is he going to? And what's your thoughts on that? Like, you think it's maintainable? And if so, where do you want to take the business the next, few quarters?
good question. Yeah, it's definitely maintainable. I mean, today is only Tuesday. I've had 2 calls today. I had one yesterday. They're pending. Yesterday, I have 2 or 3 more today. I have 5 tomorrow. And then I have, I think like 1 more on Thursday or Friday. So I mean, I'm going to close at least 1 more this week, maybe 2. So if I can even keep up at this pace and make, yeah, maybe even 3, 4, who knows? But like, even on the conservative side, say I close 1 a week, at 3K, that's already like blowing out of the water the goal I had, before jumping in. Before, I would have been more than stoked to literally make like, I don't know, like 1 or 2 sales a month, like, be at like 6 or like maybe 10K per month. My goal before jumping in was to be able to replace my full-time video production company running income, which was about like 150K, with the coaching side. And like crunching some numbers, if I can do 3 a week, or let's just say 3 weeks, that's kind of the numbers I've crunched. That's like 400K right there. And that's like, I know it could be beginner's luck, whatever. But like that was week 1 when I didn't even know what I was really doing. I was just copying and pasting like what you guys were telling me to do and just doing it. And like week 2, it's still working. I have more calls booked this week than last week. So I don't see why it would slow down anytime soon. And to like break that down even more, everything so far has just been through my Instagram. Haven't even tapped into the YouTube channel yet. Which, you know, Trey, if you guys watch his stuff, you mean you're on YouTube. This is how you found him. They have helped me unlock in my mind that YouTube is very powerful, because up until now, I've just talked about like gear and tech and stuff. And I had this like limiting belief I had to overcome, that like those people wouldn't care about like what I'm teaching. But I was talking to Jeremy or Dylan or something, and they're like, well, dude, or maybe it was even you, but someone was like, dude, like all these people are learning about camera gear so that they can like charge for their work eventually. So like I could literally keep doing what I'm doing and just like throw a call to action in for people to jump on a call, and like powerful. YouTube can crush. So I haven't even like tapped into YouTube yet. So I'm excited to do that.
That's in our coaching, we call that, there's a few things we call it, and we've thrown around a few terms, but it's like tech talk versus outcome talk. So in your content, you know, this is just some value for the viewer, like legitimately. And I say it a million times, like whether you invest in our program or not, I want our YouTube channel to be something that you frequent, just because like you legitimately feel like it's growing your business, right? And if there's one piece of value that I think it's a few things we've done for you, but one of the main things, it sounds like, is we've transformed you from being a tech talk guy to an outcome talk guy. Here's how to build a six-figure versus here's my 3 favorite cameras, right? We see it all the time. It's like, and even with my fiance, at the time she was my girlfriend, and she was an Enneagram coach, right? So she was helping people discover the Enneagram type and kind of go through a process of self-development based on that, you know, self-identification. And I said, babe, like, you know, you put out all these pieces of content on like, here's what the Enneagram types are, and like here's how to discover yours, instead of being like, look, if you really know yourself, here's how your life can transform, right? Here's the benefits of having that self-awareness. Here's how your relationships will look. And I was like, instead of saying, and she doesn't do this anymore, but she did at the time, she did pretty well with it. She's moved into actually wedding photography, which is cool.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Maybe I'll, you know, hey, who knows? Maybe got a client coming up. Yeah, so it was a transformational thing for her as well. And I think we get maybe less views on our YouTube videos, than when I used to do like that sort of clickbaity stuff. But I'm genuinely embedding myself in the subconscious of my prospects, because they're like, I know that eventually I need to work with Trey, and you're going to do that same thing with your content. I know eventually I need to work with Connor, because he's the only guy that I see that is unashamedly talking about how to like really build a business doing this. And the thing that you're going to get, that I found from the creatives back when I was in sort of your realm and your industry, is you're going to get people like, oh, those who can't do teach. Just ignore those guys, dude. Ignore them. Like, you are changing lives, and stick to your guns and have some backbone. Like, people are going to say what they're going to say. But the truth is, you can actually help people. So I don't know, man. Like you said, your initial goal was $6,000 to $10,000 a month. We've blown that out of the water. What's your new goal? Like, just a very tangible number-based goal over the next 3 to 6 months. And what do you think you need to do in order to get there?
It's a good question. Haven't even had time to think about it yet. Let's make one right now. Yeah. Let's do like 20. Let's just double. Let's just do 20K a month right now. That's double.
I'd like to make it 30, because you did 10 your first week.
Okay.
And
I was going to say 30, and then I bumped it down to 20. So thank you.
No, well, see, that's the thing is sometimes like your identity gets in the way. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, I'm not a 30K. I'm not a 40K guy. It's like, no, like the math all adds up, Connor. Like, get out of your own way. You know, if you're taking 2 calls a day on average, you're going to do 30, because that's 10 sales. That's 1 every 3 days. Like, could you make a sale once every 3 days for your program? If yes, then yeah, you're going to do 30. And yeah, dude, it's just make it an extreme math equation. You know what I mean? And especially as you grow your YouTube and that becomes a clearer source of revenue for you. I think one of the things you might be thinking about is like, okay, can I really get to 30? Because my Instagram is like this source of traffic I've got. And this might be something the viewer's thinking. It's this platform he has now, but once he's milked it, then like the revenue's gone. Not true. You know, I think within 3 or 4 months, you're going to have a pretty solid inflow of cold traffic. And I've been pleasantly surprised at how quickly people are willing to convert with our offers, now that we're running advertising, we're even doing some cold outreach. Our appointment setters on our team are messaging 40, 50 people a day and setting calls. Like when you have the authority, whether they are a warm lead, meaning they've watched a lot of your content, or cold, meaning they just stumbled into you, I've found it doesn't make a huge difference. Like, and it surprised me pleasantly that like I could, if you have the right content, you genuinely are helping people, people can see that, they'll convert, you know? So yeah, man.
Yeah, I realize the same thing too. Probably half the people who have bought so far were just like they stumbled upon a reel on Instagram or whatever that was hitting the algorithm, which by the way is like, I mean, these reels are at anywhere from like 1,000 to 8,000 views. Like they're not like stupid viral. I get on the phone with them and I ask them how they found me, either through reels or through YouTube organic. Literally
Cool.
just before this call, before our session here. I posted a video yesterday on YouTube with a call to action to book a call, and he messaged me on Instagram just before this call, and he just wanted to chat, whatever. Guess he wanted to get to know me a little bit more, and then within like 5 minutes, booked a call,
Yep.
and that's set up now. And that was like the first YouTube video I've posted with a call to action to this offer. So,
Solid.
and both those people were cold, like
Yep.
didn't follow me before. So
Solid.
that's been a little bit mind blowing to me.
It's super cool, dude. Super, super cool. And I think that's the power of getting people on the phone and having the right process and asking good questions. And I think the way that we teach sales is the way that we do sales too. Like, it's just like when you know you can help somebody, when you know that they have to just make a decision and commit because you know that this is what they need to do. It's just like having that bold, like, look, dude, like you've got two options. You either don't do this and you stay where you are, or you do this, you commit. And this is the best case scenario of how this could go. There's a worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is still like 2-3 times better than where you're at right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like the sale just becomes this very natural conversation of what they want and where they are currently and kind of the challenges they're facing. And even my sales team, they're trained rigidly to like turn away people that we don't think we can help. Like I could show you our sales channel. Like they'll take probably 5 or 6 calls a day between the few of them. And, maybe 2 out of those 5 or 6, they're literally like, yeah, I didn't make an offer to them. I just don't think they're a good fit. I'm like, I love that. I love seeing that. We could make so much more money if we just made offers to everybody, but that's just not the goal. It's like, I want to know because the reason why for the viewer, the reason why we can create success stories like Connor is it's so clear how we can serve you. You know what I mean? It's so clear. So anyway, dude, I've got a call coming up here in a sec. I got to hop on with actually one of our mastermind clients, one-to-one coaching. So I'd love to wrap up with just a question that I ask all of our clients. And that's, what's your advice for somebody who is on the fence about working with us? What's your honest input? Like, who do you really think our program is for? Who do you really think we could serve? Like, I think hearing it out of the mouth of somebody we've served is always more powerful than our own mouth because, there's always that bias of like, oh, they're trying to sell me. So who do you think we could serve, and what's your advice to that person who might be on the fence or who's watched this far in the interview and is thinking about it?
Okay. I would say at least like people just like me who have bought other programs in the past and got way too fancy with the tech, the funnels, trying to make everything look super pretty, basically avoiding the core things that actually convert and make sales, which are hopping on the phone with people, diagnosing their problems, focusing on just those, and then making an offer, custom to what they're telling you. That is the person I would highly recommend this for, because that was me. I was way too technical. I was way too all about all the strategies and the funnels and the integrations and active campaign and the countdown timers and all that stuff.
Like
and
24 billings every single month.
Yeah, exactly. Like all of that stuff did nothing for me. Maybe like way down the road and you want to like really scale it, you're already doing millions of dollars, I could see that working well. But if you're just starting out, like I love how Trey and everyone on the team, they just focus on the core things that you need to do to get your results as quickly as possible. So if that's you and like you're not afraid to get dirty and just like get on the phone with people and like learn and be open to learning, you should dive in. And even if you are afraid, you should still do it, because every time I've bet on myself, I've won, and I think you will too.
Cool.
So just send it.
Cool. Dude, I appreciate it. Thanks for your time, Connor. And we'll for sure do an update interview, just kind of prep yourself for a 3-month push here. And I'd love to do an interview where you've had that first 30K month. I think you can do it. I think you do February, to be honest. I mean, you've got a lot of momentum. I think if you do a bi-daily upload, YouTube, SEO, search, retargeting, making sure that you're positioning yourself well. I don't know if you're doing call to actions on your Instagram, on your platforms, but like, making sure you're running call to actions once or twice a week, making sure people know to book a call with you or to message you. And then as well, applying, and I'm not really going to share on the publicly what we went over with your offer before we turn on the recording, but applying some of those ideas to really make it scale, be more impactful, and serve your clients better, get them greater results. So you've got some marketing material. I think you do it in February. I think you do 30K.
All right, let's do it, man. Well, thanks
Cool.
so much, Trey. This has been awesome. Hopefully the viewers got value today, and jump in because it's going to change their lives. Seriously.
I appreciate it, Connor. Sweet dude. Thanks for your time. And we'll be speaking again very soon.
All right, man. Sounds good. Take care.